She didn't give you authority to pawn her daughter off on somebody else.
It wasn't a pawn off. He was getting his kids. The girls begged me to go. We were just going to kick it, watch movies, you know, with my friend. And they wanted to go over there with his kids, so I didn't think, you know. I've known him for 28, 30 years. I've never had no problems. This is the first problem.
Catherine, tell me what happened when you went over with your friend to this man's house.
We had stopped for pizza before we hit to his house, and then...
The three of you?
The three of us.
And how old is he?
45.
Go ahead.
And so when we got to the house, Desiree asked him if she could drive his car, and he said, okay.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
Go ahead.
And he said, okay, as long as it's in the neighborhood.
So
and
did
he
she
kept
drive?
watch of her.
Did she drive?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And we got to the house. Before we went to the house, he gave me a turn to see how I would do.
So you drove?
Yes. And we got to the house. We started watching a movie while eating pizza. And Desiree asked him if she could drive his big truck, like a monster truck size.
A monster truck size?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so he said okay, but later. And so it was about a little after 10, and he gave Desiree a turn to drive.
The big monster truck?
Yes.
I have a couple of questions to ask you. Catherine, did you drink any beer that night?
Yes.
Yes. How much beer did you have that night?
We had a sip.
A sip?
I had allergies and I couldn't smell. And so he came up to us with a cup, and he said, take a sip to me and Desiree. And so I asked him if it was alcohol. He didn't tell me. And so I just took a sip.
And what about Desiree?
She did the same thing.
How much beer did Desiree drink?
She took a sip.
And you're telling me that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Just a sip?
It was really strong.
I don't know if I believe that. Did the police come when you were in the truck?
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky. You understand how lucky you were that the police came when they were in that truck?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Because this guy was up to no good.
I know.
No good. You have any idea where this was going? You have a 45-year-old man who's out with two 13-year-old girls late at night trying to get him drunk. You understand where it's going? You understand where it's going?
Yes.
Did anything else happen that night that you haven't told me?
No. We just went to the store twice and...
He didn't behave inappropriately at any other time with you?
Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
What about with your friend?
No, ma'am.
You sure about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up next to your mother. What's your first name?
Desiree.
Desiree. You're 13?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been alone with this man before?
For about an hour normally. Sometimes I'd wait an hour at his house waiting for his ex to drop off his kids, because I'd normally go over there with his kids.
Has he ever behaved inappropriately with you?
No, he has not.
You took a big sigh before you answered that question.
He has never acted inappropriately around me, and I'm almost...
You want to have this
positive.
discussion with me in the back?
No.
I'm telling you that if you know something that you are not telling me, you are placing this man's children at risk. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.